In addition to the car inspection listed above, the building official may make or require any other inspection to ascertain compliance with this code and other laws enforced by the building official. The building official shall inform the applicant of the required points of inspection at the time of the permit application. Where fire-resistant rated inspection construction is required between dwelling units or due to location on property, the building official may require an inspection of such construction after all lathing and all wall is in place, but before any plaster is applied. So this is about fire resistant rated construction may be inspected after wall is in place, but before plaster or before wall joints and fasteners are taped and finished. So when the walls are roughly installed, all lathing, all wall is in place. Final inspection shall be made after the permitted work is complete and prior to occupancy. Building official is authorized to accept reports of approved agencies, provided such agencies satisfy the requirement as to qualification and reliability. So there could be third-party inspection services. It shall be the duty of a permit holder to or their agent to notify the building official that such work is ready for inspection. It shall be the duty of the person requesting any inspections required by this code to provide access to and means for inspection. Work shall not be done beyond the point indicated in each successive inspection without first obtaining the approval of the building permit. The building official, upon notification, shall make the requested inspections and either indicate the portion of the construction that is satisfactory as completed, shall notify the permit holder or the agent of the permit holder wherein, my goodness, or shall notify the permit holder or agent of the permit holder wherein the same fails to comply with this code. Any portion of that do not comply shall be corrected, and such portion shall not be covered or concealed until authorized by the building official. Certificate of occupancy. No building shall be used for occupancy, used or occupied shall be occupied, and no change in the existing occupancy classification of the building or portion thereof shall be made until the building official has issued a certificate of occupancy. Therefore, as provided herein. Oh my, I don't need that. Issuing of a certificate of occupancy shall not be construed as an approval of a violation of the provisions of this code or of other ordinances of the jurisdiction. Certificates assuming to give authority to violate or to cancel the provision of this code or other ordinances of the jurisdiction shall not be valid. Conformance is required to all applicable specialized codes and when applicable prior to the issuance of the certificate of occupancy. Alter buildings or structures. A building in whole or in part, altered to change from one use group to another, to a different use within the same use group, the maximum light load capacity or the occupancy load capacity shall not be occupied or used until a certificate has been issued certifying that the work has been completed in compliance with the provisions of the approved permits and applicable codes. So this is about change in use. So suppose a residence is being converted to a retail store, the permit has to be approved first before anyone changes the use. Certificate of Occupancy Inspections for Massachusetts Licensed Care Facility. This has to do with licensed care facilities, including inspections of special building features required by the licensing agency, shall be limited to verifying compliance with the provisions of this code. So, the building official will not inspect for other things unrelated to code. After the building official inspects the building or structure, the building official inspects the building, of course, and finds no violation of the provisions of this code or other laws that are enforced by the Department of Building Safety, the building official shall issue a certificate of occupancy which shall contain the following: the permit number, address, the name, address of owner, description of that portion of structure for which the certificate is issued, statement that the described portion of the structure has been inspected for compliance with this code. The name of the building official, edition of the code, if an automatic sprinkler system is provided and whether the sprinkler system is required, special stipulations and conditions of the building permit, if there is any. If a care facility is licensed by a state agency, then the name of the agency and the name of the number of any relevant code of Massachusetts regulations apply regarding building features, and a list of those building features above and beyond those required by this code. So need to be specific. Probably need to read this over. The building official is authorized to issue a temporary certificate of occupancy before the completion of the entire work covered by the permit, provided that such portion or portions shall be occupied safely. The building official set a time period during which the temporary certificate of occupancy is valid. So there is such thing as a temporary certificate of occupancy. Revocation, that means take back the permit. Let's see. The building official shall suspend or revoke a certificate of occupancy issue under the provisions of this code wherever the certificate is issued in error or on the basis of incorrect information supply, or where it is determined that the building or structure or portion thereof is in violation of any ordinance, regulation, or any of the provisions of this code. Boards of Appeal. Appeals of orders, decisions, determinations, failures to act, and made by any state or local agency or any person or state or local agency charged with the administration or enforcement of the state building code or any of its rules and regulations except the specialized codes relative to the application and interpretation of this code shall be addressed by the Building Code Appeals Board in accordance with the Massachusetts General Law. So if there's any appeal, it needs to be brought to by the Building Code Appeals Board. Limitations on authority. An application for appeal shall be based on a claim that true intent of this code or the rules really adopted thereunder have been incorrectly interpreted. The provisions of this code do not fully apply, or an equally good or better form of construction is proposed. The board shall have no authority to waive requirements of this code. So, if the board doesn't have authority to waive requirements, then what is the use of an appeal? Okay, an appeal for appeal shall be based on a claim. The truth and intent of this code, rules legally adopted thereunder have been incorrectly interpreted. Unlawful acts. It shall be unlawful for any person, firm, or corporation to erect, construct, alter, extend, repair, move, remove, demolish, or occupy any building, structure, or equipment regulated by this code, or cause same to be done in conflict with or in violation of any of the provisions of this code. The building official is authorized to serve a notice of violation or order on a person responsible for the erection, construction, alteration, extension, repair, moving, removal, demolition, or change of use or occupancy of a building in violation with the provision of this code, or in violation of a detailed statement or a plan approved thereunder, or in violation of a permit or certificate issued under the provisions of this code. Such order shall direct the discontinuance of the illegal action or condition and the abatement of the violation. Every notice or order shall be in writing, shall be served on the person responsible, personally by any person authorized by the building official, or by any person authorized to serve civil process by leaving a copy of the order or notice at the responsible party's last and usual place of business or residence, by sending the party responsible or their agent authorized to accept service or process in the Massachusetts a copy of the order by registered or certified mail return receipt requested if he is within the Massachusetts, or if the responsible party's last and usual place of business or abode is unknown, by posting a copy of his order or notice in a conspicuous or in an obvious place on or about the premises in a violation, and by publishing it for at least 3 out of 5 consecutive days in one or more newspapers of general circulation wherein the building or premise effect is situated. Okay. Violations of this code shall be enforced in accordance with the applicable provisions of the Massachusetts general law. And there are penalties. Any person who violates a provision of this code or fails to comply with any of the requirements thereof, or who erects, constructs, alters, makes a change of use or repairs a building in violation of the approved construction documents or directive of the building official, or of a permit or certificate issued under the provisions of this code, shall be subject to penalties. Top work order. What is top work order? Upon notice from the building official that work on any building is being prosecuted contrary to the provision of this code, or in an unsafe and dangerous manner, such work shall be immediately stopped. The stop work order shall be in writing and shall be given to the owner of property or the agent.